Hello, my name is Kevin Johnson with One Blue Real Estate School, and thank you for joining us for our video today in our series, Don't Get FREC'd. This series of videos is designed to help agents in our community try to stay out of trouble with the Florida Real Estate Commission and also, of course, with the Code of Ethics. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the offer of compensation. We see a lot in mastermind groups where there's a big debate about who actually pays the buyer's broker, offer of compensation, what it means, the different agency relationships. So in this very short video, I want to touch on three main topics to try to help you out. The first one is who pays the buyer's broker? Who do you think pays? If your answer is the seller, your answer is legally wrong. What is the offer of compensation? What does it mean and what are we obligated to do there? And the last one is antitrust and social mastermind groups. A big one here, just a quick reminder, we'll talk about that. Who pays the buyer's broker? So just to kind of level set here, we have a seller and we have a listing broker. When the seller hires a listing broker, we sign the listing agreement, exclusive right of sale listing agreement. And in this agreement, right, the seller agrees to pay the buyer a commission, X%, for the sale of their home. Now, if you look towards the back, if you're using the exclusive right of sale listing agreement, there's a section called Notice to Seller, where we are disclosing to the seller that we may, if in their interest, cooperate with another member of our multiple listing service if they have a buyer that's ready, willing, and able to purchase their home. Now, it's important that this sentence begins notice to seller. It's not a binding term of the contract. It is a disclosure. We are letting them know that we are going to cooperate. That can be changed at any time by the listing broker, provided that prior to the actual closing, you just simply disclose to the seller what the new cooperation amount is. It has to be disclosed to all parties in the transaction, just as if you were sharing your commission with the buyer or the seller in a transaction, for example. All right, so that's that. So now we have the listing broker. Listing broker goes out and decides to list this home in the multiple listing service. Puts in the MLS, and then they say, if you bring me a buyer, I will give you an offer of compensation of X%. And we make that offer to all the other brokers that are members of the multiple listing service. So that's the buyer's broker. And that is called the offer of compensation. A little bit about the offer of compensation. You often see it displayed with three different numbers: single agent, non-rep, and transaction broker. Flashback to 63 Hour, to that pre-license class that you went to. We talked about the three different types of agency relationships that exist in the state of Florida under Chapter 475. It's important to note that all three of these are agency relationships. They all three have the same foundational duties of ADD, accounting for all funds, dealing honestly and fairly, and disclosing all known facts that affect value of property. I often see we'll have single agent with 1%, transaction broker matching that, and then a lower amount for non-representation. There's no justifiable reason for that. It makes zero sense. All three of these are offers of compensation to members of our MLS. I often ask other listing agents when I do see a lower amount, I ask why, and the common answer I get is because, well, they're from a different MLS and I'm going to have to go open the door for them because they don't have a key. That's completely incorrect. These three offers, this is for members of our MLS. They all have to do the same amount of work, and honestly, as a listing agent, you don't know which one they are. So put them all the same. It just makes sense. Whatever your offer of compensation is, they all have the same responsibilities, right, at the end of the day. All right, now another thing I often see commented on, and when I talk about this, I am not agreeing or disagreeing with the practice of it or the antics behind it, but what I am saying from a legal perspective. Sometimes you will see X% minus a dollar amount. And if you've been in the MLS for more than a day, we all know what this is about, right? But at the end of the day, this is not, and I repeat, not the buyer's broker paying the listing broker's fee, right? This is a mathematical formula of the offer of compensation. So this is X% minus a dollar amount. And this is permitted under MLS rules. So just some feedback. Don't go in social groups in a public setting and talk about it in any other fashion. I get the frustration. I certainly feel it, and I would discourage anyone from passing on any fees to other agents. Just be considerate of your fellow agents out there. But having said that, this is perfectly ethical, perfectly legal under the current statutes and code of ethics at the time this video was recorded in 2020. So that's just a little bit of perspective on that. And the last thing I want to touch on is antitrust and social mastermind groups. I see it all the time where an agent's discussing compensation being offered by other offices or other agents or maybe in the MLS, and they're sharing that in a public setting. Remember, even though it's a private group, most of these groups are made up of other agents from competing brokers. So a couple of things on antitrust. And this was in your 63-hour class. This was in your 45-hour post-license class. If you're a broker, it was in your 72-hour pre-license class. So this is really important stuff. Price fixing is against federal law. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a violation of antitrust laws for agents to conspire to set the commissions in a market. Simply just discussing it, having a conversation of this is what I charge, what do you charge? If you are from competing brokerages, that is enough to trigger antitrust violations. The threshold is extremely low, so don't run that risk. Whenever you're engaging in conversation in a public setting, like in a social mastermind group on Facebook, for example, always use X% or X% plus $, minus $. Never use actual amounts. You don't want to give the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission evidence in black and white that you're violating the law. That just won't bode well. So that's just some quick overview on antitrust. I hope you found this useful. And that's all I've got for offer of compensation. If you're looking for a real estate school, if you're looking for the best real estate school in Central Florida, small class sizes, we offer an interactive and fun environment. We have all of our instructors are actual licensed brokers who are practicing real estate and have been doing so and have hundreds of transactions under belt. If you are looking for that type of real estate school, give us a try. You may have tried the rest, now come and try the best. OneBlueRealEstateSchool.com, or you can give us a call, 321-333-5222. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a great day.